The Hunger Games' Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes marks a return to the dystopian universe that captivated audiences with Suzanne Collins' original trilogy of books. And in an era dominated by sequels, reboots, and franchise continuations, this prequel attempts to delve into the origin of President Coriolanus Snow and the 10th Hunger Games. It was directed by Francis Lawrence, who has held the series since Catching Fire, which was, in my opinion, one of the most visually arresting of those Hunger Games films. I think that, that's the strong suit of the Hunger Games, and here, they're not turning it down. The visuals and the stunning world building is like the highlight of the film, in my opinion. The retro futuristic design, the immersive sets, the costumes, even the weird fucking names are so interesting and captivating. And I think in a CGI dependent world where, most of the movies we see, you can clearly tell, oh, that's green screen, that's blue screen. This movie has really great sense of just visuals. And, most of the CGI is invisible, or it's hard to tell what is, most of it just feels very authentic. And I really like the use of practical effects. And the cast is really good, especially Viola Davis and Peter Dinklage as the villains. I mean, they have really fucking cool names. Dr. Veronica Gall, Casca Highbottom. Where does Suzanne Collins come up with this? I also think Rachel Zegler, Tom Blythe are really good. And Josh Andres Rivera, he delivers, a very good performance. Honestly, his performance was one of my favorite. It felt the most authentic. And, even Rachel Zegler, who was picked most likely, I'm going to assume, for her great singing ability. She was pretty good in this movie. She had a compelling character as Lucy Gray Baird, and the film follows Tom Blythe's Coriolanus Snow as he has to mentor Lucy Gray Baird for the 10th annual Hunger Games. And I thought that the film, while, it's very impressively shot, it does have a bit of a pacing issue, particularly in the transition from the first two-thirds to its final act. And the rushed characterization during the Hunger Games section may leave viewers feeling disconnected from the tributes, impacting the perceived threat in the arena. I really thought that all the, the villains, let's say, in this Hunger Games arena, they did not really come off as that threatening to me. There are just a couple of girls wielding a trident, screaming at Rachel Zegler, and I was just like, are they supposed to be like the villains? It was honestly a bit weird, but I think the movie is trying to do so much. It's split into multiple parts. And just the fact that the Hunger Games is only the first part of the movie, that isn't really that bad. It's just how it kind of splits up the film that it just felt a little oddly paced to me. So I thought the film, despite, its visual lore and great performances, falls short in the latter half, particularly in how it portrays the evolution of Snow. From a desperate romantic to the power-hungry president we know from the original trilogy, the abrupt pacing and the lack of narrative depth become apparent as the love story between Snow and Lucy Gray takes an unexpected turn. The potential to explore Snow's internal struggles and motivations, evident in Suzanne Collins' source material, remains largely untapped in the film adaptation. In the book, you see internal monologues provide insight into Snow's psyche, and it offers a more nuanced understanding of its transformation. I can understand why they wouldn't want to include narration. I really don't love internal monologues in movies. It honestly takes away, so I get why they wanted to stray away from that. However, the movie relies on these external events, notably his witnessing of his friend's execution, of just his experience as a peacekeeper to convey the turning point in his character, but I really think it isn't enough. And a pivotal aspect omitted from the film is Snow's internal conflict and his gradual realization that loves make him vulnerable and compromises his quest for power. And the absence of this, it left me feeling like the transition was a bit jarring, and his sudden decision to betray Lucy Gray lacks that necessary emotional buildup to, showcase the smaller defining moments that shape Snow's psyche, making his descent into villainy feel rushed and a bit disconnected. I also thought the film kind of failed to provide context for Snow's motivations, left me a bit confused. They could have had more stuff in here about Snow's complex relationship with his father and the impact of his scarcity-filled upbringing. There's like one moment in the beginning where they show him and his sister Tigress as kids, and they mention that, some guy's eating someone because they're hungry. They should have really delved into that more. It leaves kind of a gap in understanding his drive for control. They really just have so much to cover that it misses a lot of those elements. And I think that if they had included more of it and the richness of Snow's character, it would have made the overall storytelling better. The transition from a seemingly genuine romantic connection with Lucy Gray to Snow's ruthless pursuit of power, it just didn't feel like they had the groundwork put there. I think the film could have benefited from, more nuanced exploration of Snow's internal struggles, And if it just really wanted to include more of the source material, it could have, but then it might have gone over 3 hours, and I don't think they wanted to do that. This was the longest film in the Hunger Games franchise at 2 hours, 37 minutes, so they probably were not trying to push for over 3 hours. Overall, I really love the visual aesthetics here. I love the performances. I love the world building they're doing. I just feel like they left a lot out, and maybe if they had included more, made it over 3 hours, it could have been better. It just needed more relationship between Snow and Lucy Gray for it to feel natural. It really just feels like they're kind of going beat for beat from a book, removing certain elements, and just to me, that didn't work. I didn't really click with the last part of the movie. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe, if you're more of a fan of the book, you'll say, oh, this was better. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you guys so much for watching.